Fuck around, make my 40 pop. No popcorn, I pop pistols, reaming my body.
Alright guys, a big day is coming up very soon. It's going to be coming, I think, the 19th, I believe. It's going to be Jump Festa. Now, a lot of you guys don't necessarily know what Jump Festa is, but for a lot of anime purists out there, a lot of you guys look forward to this date mainly because it's essentially where a lot of the actual anime and manga series come together and they give their big announcements for the next year. So this particular Jump Festa, hopefully we're going to be getting some big news for anime or Boruto manga 2022. Now, of course, the most popular thing that a lot of people think that we're going to get is probably some announcements for the time skip. Now, either way, I personally believe if we're not getting any announcements for the time skip, they're going to be talking about the time skip. For some context and some backstory, last year's Jump Fest, they did actually give a slight announcement. They basically said the time skip is going to be coming soon. They didn't necessarily say that verbatim, but I'm just basically summing up. They said it's going to be coming soon. Now, in this upcoming time skip, again, logically, we'd assume that next year we'd possibly get the time skip in the Boruto manga. But hypothetically, if we do not, there's going to be a Q&A session where I'm pretty damn sure they're probably going to be asked about a potential time skip. So either way, they're going to be talking about the time skip, and hopefully we actually do get a set date. Now, of course, whenever the actual Boruto writers say something is coming soon, that could be tomorrow, that could be a couple months from now, that could be 5 years from now. We have absolutely no idea. Now, obviously, I'm exaggerating with the 5 years thing, but just to understand, whenever the Boruto writers say soon, it doesn't necessarily mean for certain it's going to happen in a couple of weeks or a couple of months. So hypothetically, if the Boruto writer comes out and he basically says the time skip is coming soon, that tells us absolutely nothing, because we could possibly be at Jump Festa 2023 still asking a guy what's going on with the time skip. Now, I do want to point out there was a change in writers. Kodachi himself was actually behind the writing of Boruto the manga back then. Now this time is going to be Masashi Kishimoto, the original writer of the Naruto series. He himself may actually have some different ideas for the Boruto series. I personally believe that Kodachi may have actually did the time skip directly after the Ishiki Otsutsuki battle. And I do want to point this out, that right there is just what I personally think. That right there is not necessarily confirmed, but I thought that for Kodachi, that right there would have made the most sense, because obviously the most hype that you could possibly get after Ishiki Otsutsuki would be a time skip. And the way that Kodachi writes, he wants to up the stakes every single arc. So it's going to be very interesting to see exactly and specifically what Masashi Kishimoto comes out with in regards to the actual time skip. Because again, if he has different plans from what Kodachi had, he may actually go into another 2 or 3 arcs with Boruto and the rest being around 12, 13 years old. If that's the case, I'm pretty sure a lot of people would kind of feel a little bit bad, man, because we've been pretty much waiting for the time skip for a very long time. I'm gonna have to trust Masashi Kishimoto. He is the OG and the architect behind Naruto and Naruto Shippuden, an absolute legendary series. Now, beyond that, there are some other big announcements that they can possibly say. For example, an anime only arc. Oh, by the way, I just want to give a rundown of some big announcements that Jump Festa already had. I think in 2018 they announced the Momoshiki arc being adapted into the Boruto anime. A lot of you guys might not necessarily think that right there is a big announcement, but back then everybody was dying to see the Chunin exam be adapted, man, because we were dying for brand new content. And I believe in 2019 it wasn't necessarily anything too crazy. 2020 was the year where they pretty much announced that we're going to be getting the Kata organization and manga stuff being adapted into the actual anime. Not only that, Kawaki, we actually got the first sight of Kawaki. It was like a Boruto and Kawaki fighting trailer that actually released back then. So that right there was absolutely huge, and hopefully this Jump Festa we're going to get something absolutely huge again. Another big announcement that we could possibly get is an anime only arc. Obviously, a lot of people would absolutely love for the manga to be adapted into the Boruto anime, but sometimes anime only arcs, they're a lot more exciting than the actual manga content, and some people might actually enjoy the anime only content a little bit more than the actual manga content, depending on how they do it. For example, a very popular arc that a lot of people do like, I personally don't necessarily like it, mainly because I think they completely mishandled Urushige's character. A lot of people do like the time skip arc. They could possibly announce a big arc like that where a brand new Otsutsuki member is going to be an actual villain that could potentially give us a lot more information about the Otsutsuki clan. Not only that, a lot of people have been asking for an Otsutsuki only arc, like for example the Otsutsuki backstory, Momoshiki when he was a kid. We can get a lot of information not only about the Otsutsuki king, but also about the Otsutsuki god. A bunch of things like that, specifically anime only, would draw a lot of attention from not only the core Boruto fan base, but essentially all of the Naruto fans as well. A lot of people would absolutely love an arc like that. Now, not only that, another big announcement that could possibly happen is a new manga arc. One of the things that we do understand with the manga is that we haven't necessarily seen Kashin Koji in a very long time. They could potentially implement him back into the Boruto manga in some sort of a new arc. A lot of people would absolutely love that, man, because he is the clone of Jiraiya Sensei. If it's going to have something to do with Jiraiya, it has to be big. This is why I think that Kashin Koji has to be somewhere in the main storyline. So of course, if they incorporate him back into the main storyline and possibly a next arc that they actually do announce in Jump Festa, a lot of people wouldn't necessarily be mad. A lot of people would actually enjoy it, especially all the Jiraiya fans out there. Now, if you were to ask me what I think that they actually announced at Jump Festa, I'm gonna have to stick with the time skip. This right here is just way too popular for them to actually pass up. Obviously, they are going to celebrate what did actually happen in the Boruto manga. For example, Boruto's brand new form. They may actually have like some voice actors of that actual Boruto to actually play out some of the scenes that we did already see in the Boruto manga. But also, when it comes to the time skip, that right there is going to be on the top of everybody's mind. As I said earlier, even if they don't necessarily have to make an announcement about it, they are 100% going to have to talk about it. The official date that Boruto will take Super Stage at Jump Festa will be December 18th. And of course, as always, any type of information that we do get from Jump Festa, I'm probably going to make a video about it. So if you guys want to stay up to date with all of the actual Jump Festa news that we're probably going to be getting and probably going to be leaked over the course of November, you guys might as well subscribe, like the video, but let me know in the comment section below, what specifically do you guys want to see announced in Jump Festa? Do you guys want to see the time skip? Do you guys want to see an anime only arc, potentially a brand new manga arc? And also another big thing that a lot of people are actually kind of talking to me about was possibly Toneri being unsealed and Boruto going to actually train with Toneri. These are all possible things in Jump Festa. I definitely do want to see exactly where the Boruto series goes from here, but it's being boy Barbie, and we out.
It's a knife.